Now, interestingly, the polls have only got better for Trump since the election. I think in part because, there was that great reset, the vibe that is only just sort of starting to taper off, about that feeling of a reset. They also seem to like that he's made a whole series of really decisive choices in the people he wants to have around him. What are you feeling, though, about that process of not just announcing, but now trying to get these people over the line? I know that certainly the issues in and around the Pete Hegseth we've talked about before. You've gone into great detail as well. What about the next stage of this thing between now and when he actually takes over?
I think most are going to make it. Most are going to make it across. Elon, among other things, has his Super PAC has said they're going to target any Republican who votes against Trump's nominees. Yeah. And Elon's in there helping Trump pick the nominees. So he's definitely invested. And I think as a Republican senator, that's what they respond to, Paul. These are not noble people. They respond to the almighty dollar, and no one wants Elon Musk coming after them. So unless it's like a completely indefensible pick, they're going to vote for Trump's picks. And I discount Murkowski. I discount Collins. That's Alaska and Maine. They're very Republican light. They are almost blue. So that's fine. The Republicans can lose them. They'd be at 51. Maybe they lose like a Mitch McConnell who just doesn't like Trump.
Yeah.
On the most egregious, but that's 50, and J.D. Vance breaks that tie. Now you're getting down to like the Joni Ernsts of the world, who's Iowa, red state, reasonable. I think it would take a lot to make her vote against a Trump nominee. So it's going to be contentious, but I think he's going to get 98% of what he wants.
Yeah, I think so too. I just want to, put a pin in this one. Now, I know that the Donald's not interested in picking up the phone to anyone. Everyone's coming to him. The Mitch McConnell thing, I don't know, one phone call, something. They have to build a bridge, because otherwise there is going to be this stable three that are constantly going to turn around. And remember, this bloke ain't running anything anymore, meaning he can run around everywhere in the Senate trying to sort of get in the ear of the people who aren't up for election anytime soon. So, again, I'm not suggesting that Trump's got to kiss the ring, but maybe he's got to lean in the direction to at least put this thing away. Otherwise, you're going to have the stable three that are constantly there, and basically it doesn't matter that they have the majority. They're back to, as you say, a permanent 50-50. What do you think the chances are of any of that happening?
It doesn't sound like Donald Trump. Apologizing is not his thing, or even he wouldn't have to apologize, but just like an olive branch. I don't even know whether it would work. Trump not only has gone after McConnell in vicious terms, and there's no love lost there, but even his wife. He's made McConnell's wife like the center of his attacks for a long time. And as you know, for most men, that's a much tougher one to forgive. You can forgive the attack on yourself much quicker than you can forgive the attack on your spouse or your child. So I'm not sure what's going to happen there. I think the best thing with Mitch McConnell will be he is a Republican. He's a conservative Republican. There's no question. So while I don't think he'll be a rubber stamp, unless there's really a really good reason not to approve of the nominee, he will. And I don't think his sway in the Republican Party holds a candle to that of Donald Trump. Donald Trump has got this Republican Party. It's his for the taking, and he will inflict political pain if they don't do what he wants. Some don't really have to deal with that as much because they're in more blue states, like Lisa Murkowski in Alaska or Susan Collins in Maine. But I think Trump's wrath is a lot scarier to most Republicans than whatever Mitch McConnell has left. He's like, we're watching the winter Christmas specials, like all the animated stuff that we watched back in the 1970s. And, I don't know if you guys watch these in Australia, but we're watching Rudolph, where they have winter and he loses his magic. But then he thinks he's in jail and he thinks maybe he can gin up, or maybe it's Santa Claus is coming to town. Anyway, my point is he's like, I've got these few acorns. Yeah. I've got just these few acorns and they might be able to make the reindeer fly. And that's Mitch McConnell. He's got 2 acorns. He could make two reindeer fly. That's the only trick left in his little bag.
Yeah, the ghosts of Senate past, all the rest of it. Now, just before you go, please tell me, did you go home and explain to your beautiful husband, Doug, what a pants man was? Because we got such reaction in Australia. I know all the other stuff was big, but Megyn Kelly getting her head around pants man. Did you go back and explain it to him, and did he look at you as quizzically as you looked at me when I suggested pants man?
I did. And I think I missed an opportunity to call you that at the end when I saw your naked legs. So that was sad. But he said that we're learning a lot through my hits on this show. There was, there was that. There was all sorts of language that we've gone over. And then there was the tutorial that our daughter gave us on rise up lights.
Yeah, rise up lights.
Rise up lights. It's razor blades, but you say it like rise up lights in, American English, and you sound like an Aussie. I love it.
Excellent. All right, now, we've got one more week on the air, which means one more chance to talk to you before we go on our summer break. I can't wait to see you next week. All the best, Elon.
Oh, it's a pleasure, Paul. See you guys soon.